Have you ever noticed that no one had to teach you really what a promise is? I don't remember my mom or dad sitting me down and saying, here's what a promise is. Now, I'm going to tell you that I'm going to do something, and I'm going to use the word promise. So I'm going to promise you to have ice cream, you'll have ice cream, or that we're going to go to the zoo, or whatever it is. And you can count on that. That's what a promise is. No. We just kind of know what it is. Because it's a part of life. It's such an important thing. It's how we know we can trust each other. So a parent might promise their kid, again, to take them to the game. They might promise them a special, like some ice cream. They might promise them some cookies. They might promise to spend some time with them. Right? As a friend, you might promise to bring something to share. Maybe it's a new Xbox game or something like that, and you say, man, I promise, I'll get it to you. And that's real important, isn't it? From human to human, to know that I can trust you, like you promised. And we got to be careful with promises, because sometimes we make promises that we can't keep. You ever done that? Right? You just want to let that person know, hey, I'm good, I'm going to do that. And so we say that, I promise. There's times we can't, that we just know things are going to happen. So it's really difficult, but here's the thing. God's promises always perfect. Now promises are important, because if you break them, your child or your friend will say, but you promised. You promised you would do that, or you promised you wouldn't do that. And it happened. Either you did it or you didn't do it. And that hurts. But when that promise is kept, it's beautiful, man. It's awesome. And here we have a promise of God. It's in 2 Peter chapter 3. We're going to be in verse 13. Peter says this, but according to his promise, to God's promise, we are waiting for new heavens and a new earth in which righteousness dwells. Now again, the context of this is kind of how we should live, right? Because life is difficult. And the writer of 2 Peter acknowledges that. He's like, yeah, it's tough. There's struggles, there's temptations, there's all these things that happen, right? We're dealing with sin. The world around us seems like it's falling apart. And he says, and actually it's going to be all gone one day. Talks about it being dissolved, burned up. So how should we live? He says we should live in holiness, and he says he uses the word godliness as we wait for God to come again, as we wait for that return of Jesus to take us home and to usher in and to bring in this new heavens and new earth where righteousness dwells. Because the place we're living now, we couldn't exactly say that righteousness is everywhere. Now, hopefully it's among us. Right? It's among God's people who trust in Jesus, who confess that they believe in Him. That people would find that we trust in God, and that they would see that in all that we say and all that we do. Well, let's face it, in most of the world around us, it's kind of the opposite. And it makes it really difficult. It crushes us, it attacks us, it does a number on our souls and on our lives. But here's the hope, that there will be a day, and it's according to His promise. Now, we know this is when it's going to happen because Jesus already suffered, He already died. God already made good on the ultimate promise. Defeated sin, defeated death. And when you look in the book of Revelation, you get a picture of what this looks like. Because it's not like, oh, I hope it happens. It's going to happen, and that's my hope. This is my hope. This is what brings me peace. This is what brings me joy in the midst of the fight and the battle. As it rages, I can know that this isn't all there is. That I'm but a stranger here, right? Heaven is my home. So I pray that just makes a difference for you today and every day You have a great one, and we will talk to you next time for another follow-through. Please share this video and also hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, because that will help you to get these videos every single day. Talk to you next time and have a great one.